Hi, gang. Welcome to this episode of Media Champions. I'm your host, Mary Treese Griffin in Atlanta. Today, we're excited to take you all the way out to West Hollywood, California. That's where we find Jackie Fast. Yeah, that Jackie Fast is on the program with Sandbox Studios. Jackie, it's so nice to have you on Media Champions.
Thanks for having me, Mary.
Let's talk about what you do at Sandbox Studios, and I know we only have 5 minutes because I know you do a lot, but what's the best part about what you do at Sandbox?
So we have a venture capital fund. So we invest in startups, but what makes us really unique is that we exclusively invest in celebrity-backed or founded consumer brands at seed stage.
And when you do that, let's talk about some aha moments. And what I'm talking about here are clients that actually take your sage advice and they go, "Oh, that Jackie, she really knows what she's talking about." It's got to make you feel really proud and excited that they listen to you and they have success.
For sure. I mean, I've been doing this a really long time. So I founded a company called Slingshot Sponsorship in 2010, which I sold in 2016. So I've been working with celebrities, some of the biggest celebrities in the world, including the Rolling Stones, Elton John, Richard Branson, and helping them kind of commercialize and work their partnerships at a kind of higher corporate angle. So when I sold that business, launching a venture fund with my own capital and some outside capital was a natural evolution. And now what I do more is I kind of spot those really kind of great aha opportunities and then work with those founders to build those brands. So historically, I've worked with a number of kind of brand clients and celebrities to provide advice. And now we're really selective about the advice that we give. And, hopefully with less clients, we're doing better work.
Well, you're doing great work, and we appreciate you sharing the advice here. I want to ask you this because you have been doing this for a long time. You're very successful. When we talk about risk taking, okay, you obviously take a lot of risk doing what you've done, and you've done it well. What advice would you give to somebody who's on the fence about taking the risk, whether it's taking risk to work with you or just to take the risk with the business that they're in right now? Because you're doing it with gusto, may I say.
So I think risk should be calculated. And I mean, I think the riskiest thing I ever did, which is probably the best thing I ever did, was start my own business at a really young age. And I definitely didn't feel like I was ready or capable to do that. But I think sometimes you need to take the leap. I certainly don't think that all risk is worthwhile, especially in business. And I also think financial risk independently is also something to manage. So, whether you've got an amazing side hustle and you kind of want to quit your 9 to 5, if you can pay rent for the next 6 months, please, by all means, go and do so. But I think there's a way you can be risky while being prepared and planned out. And that's the way I've always approached it.
When we talk about partnering, and even if somebody has, an internal uh, business department, media marketing department, you name the department, it's still a good idea for them to partner with somebody like you. Why?
I think the reason it's not necessarily something like me, I think what I would probably venture is most consumer brands now have a hard time gaining new customers organically without having to pay extranormically amounted money through Facebook and Google Ads. And so our advice almost always for almost all consumer brands is to work with a recognizable face. I am not that recognizable face, but it doesn't even have to be a Brad Pitt or a George Clooney, but truthfully other influencers or even within your community, but working with somebody who can kind of get you over the hump helps. So one of the latest stats is that us as consumers see 4,000 to 10,000 marketing messages a day, which is insane. If you think the fact that most people aren't reading ads, aren't listening to the radio, or barely watching television, the fact that we're still getting hit this many times, it means you really have to think strategically about how you're getting noticed. And celebrities kind of help you do that.
For somebody who is looking to find that influencer, it's not just a potluck. I mean, you clearly want to find somebody who is in line with what your messaging or your brand is. What advice do you give for that? Because it's not a free for all, and somebody like you who understands the business has that knowledge.
So very true. And I think, Mary, you've really kind of hit the nail on the head. Authenticity is so key, especially with younger, savvier consumers. Like they can spot a money making scheme when they see it like a mile off. So, it's really odd when you see somebody like Kim Kardashian promoting like a hot sauce, you know? So, but if you look at Skims, but if you look at Skims, it's so within her brand. It's in, she's not just known for her butt, but she's obviously super self-conscious about her figure and all of that stuff. So it really kind of aligns with the kind of content she's putting out anyways. And that's really what you want to look for. So obviously, if you can hire people like Sandbox Studios or us to kind of help you with your talent strategy, I would obviously recommend that. But truthfully, the great thing about social media now is you can go on these people's Instagrams and see what they're into. Like, do they like golf? Do they like yoga? Do they like dogs even? We just
Mhm.
recently invested in a company called Invisible Universe, and Jennifer Aniston has partnered with an animation studio, and she almost never does anything. And she created an animated dog because she loves her dog so much. So when you find stuff that really rings true, it's obvious to the consumer, it works for the celebrity, and really fundamentally, it works for the brand.
Love it. So authenticity and a little research will go a long way. Thank
For
you,
sure.
Jackie Fast, for taking the time to be with us. You come back anytime you like. We appreciate your sage advice.
Thanks, Mary.
For the rest of you, if you want to make the connect to Jackie, we can help you do that. You can find her by finding us at dailyadbrief.com. I'm Mary Therese Griffin in Atlanta. We'll see you next time for more Media Champions.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.